Colorado High School Activities Association Baseball is on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com this afternoon from Legion Field in Fort Morgan. It's another Tri-Valley League clash as the Fort Morgan Mustangs host the Frederick Warriors along with Evan James. I'm John Beltran. We're 3 batters in now. Brandon Hornby is now the hitter for Frederick. Here's the stretch and the pitch. And the breaking ball's a strike from Mateo Salcido. And it's no balls and 1 strike. We'll recap what's happened here so far. The Mustangs 4-5 overall, and Mateo nearly threw that one away. Nice stab out there by Nick Norris. The opening pitch.
The opening pitch is brought to you by Igmar Phillips Insurance. Things happen in life. Make sure you're prepared with the right insurance coverage. Igmar Phillips Insurance in Brush and Fort Morgan.
All right, the offering. Swing and a miss. Count is at 0-2 to Hornby. All right, the first hitter, Trevor Haslett, grounded to the second baseman Linker on a 2-1 pitch, and Cole Hoffman singled to right center. So 1 on, 1 out. The pitch. Swing and a miss, and the batter cannot advance because first base is occupied. It's a strikeout of Hornby, and there's 2 down. That'll set up Riley Dufour. The Mustangs won yesterday in Frederick 6-2. Home runs from Isaac Linker and J.P. Hamer, a 3-run homer in the game. Or 3 hits, I should say, from Jacob Ortega, the winning pitcher. So Hamer and Linker went deep. Step off there by Salcido. Let's set the lineup here for Frederick. We gave you the top 3 hitters. Riley Dufour, the cleanup hitter, batting 5th is the catcher, Braden Weingart. Pitch is swung on. That is lifted towards left field. Javi Becerra going back. He reaches out and makes the catch. He initially mistook that baseball. And we are done here in the bottom or the top of the first inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. Let's head to the bottom of the first. Frederick does not score. The Mustangs coming to bat on B106 and B106.com. Back in Fort Morgan, the Mustangs will be at the plate. I'm still getting the feedback. There we go. All right, as we head to the bottom of the first inning, we'll get this thing underway. We had a much smoother transition yesterday. Today, apparently, not as much, but that's the way baseball works, too. All right, we'll set the Mustang lineup here in the bottom of the first inning against a left-hander in Jonah Josh. That's right, Jonah Josh. Batting first for Fort Morgan is the center fielder J.P. Hamer. Jacob Ortega hits second. The third hitter is Isaac Linker. Batting 4th is Alex Ortega. The 5th hitter for Fort Morgan is Austin Apple. Batting 6th, the first baseman Nick Norris. Mateo Salcido, the pitcher, at 7th. Sam Shaver, the DH, bats 8th. And Javi Becerra in left field bats 9th, and the breaking ball's in there from a strike there by the left-hander. No balls and 1 strike. Hamer was 2 for 4 yesterday, a triple and a home run. And the pitch, down and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Laying down the sign is Weingart. Will set the defense here in just a second. And the offering. Swag and a miss. Pulled the string on that one. Riley Dufour's at first. Jonas Sanders at second. The third baseman is Cole Hoffman. Ryan Backus at short. Around the outfield, Brandon Hornby in left, Trevor Haslett in center, Nick Formby in right, Braden Weingart behind the plate. There's the 1-2, and that bounces in. It hit Hamer on a bounce, but that's not a hit by pitch. No, it is a hit by pitch because he was standing at the plate. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it gets there on the fly or on the bounce, so Hamer's hit by a pitch, and he leads the team in hit by pitches. And that'll bring up Jacob Ortega, who had 3 hits yesterday.
Stubbs Gas and Oil. Fill up your cooler and gas up your car at Stubbs Gas and Oil. Easy and convenient. Make them your only stop you need on your way to the big game.
All right. Here in the bottom of the first inning, here's Jacob Ortega. And the pitch. And the breaking ball's up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Frederick did not score in the first inning. They had 1 base hit from Cole Hoffman, a base hit into right center. 2-step lead at first. And the offering swung on and grounded foul up the third base side. Yeah, the Mustangs must have pulled about 20 pitches yesterday into foul territory, way out in front. And now the count levels at 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ortega. And the pitch way outside. 2-1 to Jacob. Hitting from the right side with an open stance. Hamer with a 2-step lead. He's got plenty of speed over there. We have speed at the plate as well. Runner goes. Swung on in line towards center field, but Hamer's going to have to go back because the ball is caught. Hamer doesn't locate it. Oh, boy, he's going to be doubled up. He didn't even step on second base. Boy, awful base running there by the Mustangs, and there's 2 down. Yeah, Hamer did not see the baseball, and then you still have to step on second base before you go back to first. So Trevor Hazlitt doubles up J.P. Hamer, and there's 2 down. And, that cannot happen with a senior on the base pass.
Mm-mm.
Here's Isaac Linker. I know it's early on in the season, but, again, the pitch swung on and grounded foul up the third base side. Well, that's why when you're running and you see the ball hit, you've got to see where it's hit. And he might have been deceived by an infielder, but, Hamer never located the ball, and I guess he didn't know to go back to first until it was way too late, fouled off to the right. With 2 down and the bases empty in the bottom of the first inning. I'm John Beltran with Evan James. He'll be with us throughout Fort Morgan and Brush coverage throughout the course of the season. It'll be a busy baseball season. Swung on and lifted behind the plate. Weingart giving chase. It's out of play. Count remains at 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Awaiting the pitch is Linker, and here it is, upstairs. Count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Laying down the sign is Weingart. The lefty, Jonah Josh, comes home. Swung on and lifted towards center field. Trevor Hazlitt is back. He's got a beat on it, makes the catch. And that does it for the Mustangs in the first inning. We played 1. No score between Fort Morgan and Frederick on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. Let's head to the second inning. No score in Fort Morgan between the Mustangs and the Frederick Warriors. Fort Morgan won yesterday, 6-2. Fort Morgan scored their first run in the second inning. The pitch swung on, lined on 1 hop. Nice scoop there and a hop by Ortega. Low throw, but in time to Nick Norris. And 1 pitch, 1 out as Braden Weingart is retired. That'll send up yesterday's losing pitcher, Tyler Segura. Segura threw fairly well, but again gave up a big home run ball early. And the pitch, and that fastball's up and in. That was pitch number 13 for Salcedo. 13 pitches, 10 strikes and 3 balls so far. The offering, swing and a miss, and a pitch tailing away. Got the outside corner with that one. Count moves to 1-1 with 1 out here in the second. The offering, swing and a miss. Looked like he pulled the string very nicely on that pitch.
Man, that was really low.
Well, the ball does dip with that one.
Oh, yeah.
1-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled off the end of the bat. Yeah, anytime it's fouled off the end of the bat, obviously, timing issues. Got to time that one out.
Oh, yeah.
It's always an adjustment. That's why it's normally easier for the hitters the second time around in the lineup, especially with Mateo here making his first varsity start. He's made a few appearances in relief, up and in with a fastball. Count moves to 2-2. A base runner for Frederick in the first. The Mustangs had a base runner, but neither base runner advanced to second. The pitch. Swing and a miss on the off speed. And there's 2 down as Segura strikes out. And for the sophomore, Mateo Salcido. That's his second strikeout. That'll bring up Nick Formby. Right-handed hitter, the pitch. Fastball is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the wind and offering. I again took something off at 2-0. Yeah, Mateo just locates very well. That's his strength, the location. And the pitch. Inside corner for a strike to the number 7 hitter in this lineup for Frederick. It is 2-1. Laying down the sign is Connor Fajardo, the pitch. And the breaking ball's inside. The Mustang defense, I should have said that earlier, but we had a little bit of a early start here and didn't get on the air on time. Nick Norris at first, Isaac Linkard second, Austin Apple at third, Jacob Ortega at short, and that's down and away. And it's a walk to Formby. That'll send up Jonas Sanders. Javi Baqueta in left. The center fielders J.P. Hamer, and right is Alex Ortega. Fajardo behind the plate. And somebody's getting a phone call. Is that you?
No.
No, I know it wasn't you. I'm just messing with you. All right, here's Sanders. I heard that a lot louder, probably, but it's like 3 times it's rang, and that pitch is on the outside corner for a strike. It is 0-1. I like those people who they don't know technology, don't know how to take it off of sound, and it's outside.
Yeah.
1-1. Yeah, I took mine off of sound a long time ago and have it on mute because my wife used to call me when I was on air. Now that I've just thrown her under the bus. And the 1-1 pitch. That is on the outside corner for a strike to the left-handed hitting Sanders. Sanders yesterday was 0 for 2 with a walk. With a runner at first and 2 down in the second. Salcido delivers in the dirt. Blocked nicely by Fajardo. Count levels at 2-2. Gorgeous day. We had a nice day yesterday, a little bit cooler yesterday, and certainly warmer today in Fort Morgan. 2-step lead at first. 2-2 pitch. And the bender's a called strike 3. It got the upper part of the zone. Sanders didn't like it, but he is rung up. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. An inning and a half complete in Fort Morgan. Fort Morgan nothing, Frederick nothing on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. All right, let's head to the bottom of the second inning. Fort Morgan nothing, Frederick nothing. Stepping in for the Mustangs will be Alex Ortega. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swung on. That ball is laced down the left field line, and that's fair. Ortega around first, headed for second, and he will have a leadoff double here in the second, a sliding double. And the Mustangs have their first hit of the game, courtesy of Alex Ortega's double down the left field line. How do you like the view from here, Evan?
It's actually really nice.
Yeah, it's a nice overhead view.
Oh, yeah.
And enough distance. You don't want to be too close either. I mean, I like being close, but... All right, here's Austin Apple. Apple yesterday was 0 for 3. Swung on, grounded a short in the hole. That's going to be a long throw, and that throw is going to be late. It's a base hit. Apple beats it out easily. Ryan Baca really had no play. Very, very well placed by Austin Apple. Now it's first and third. And that'll send up Nick Norris.
B&B Appliance can help you with all your appliance needs. Stop in and see what they can do for you. Check it out on Ensign Street in Fort Morgan.
All right, so Nick Norris has had a hot bat. Got a little bit of a hitting streak going. He's got a home run on the season. That came last Saturday against University. And the pitch, and he takes it for a ball. Down in the zone, 1 ball and no strikes. I think my wife said, let's get the party started. It happened already with the first 2 hitters. Yeah, I got to let her know. The stretch, runner goes to second, and that's taken for a strike. Throw to second will be late and cut off. Now the count is level at 1-1.
That's a stolen base for Austin Apple. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Mustangs with a threat here in the bottom of the second inning. No score. Fort Morgan looking for the season sweep. Infield in, and that's blocked nicely by Weingart. That pitch was in the dirt. I've been saying dirt for years. Should I also say clay? You know, they call it kind of like red clay.
I mean,
go with dirt.
Preference here. So.
That's a good point. It's just semantics, yeah.
Yeah.
I just had to clear that up. 2-1 pitch. Up and in. It is 3-1. Here to Austin Apple. Three balls and 1 strike. And the pitch to Norris. He swings and hits it off the end of the bat down the right side, twisting into foul territory, and it drops foul. Count moves to 3-2. Mustangs with the first big threat of this game. Here in the bottom of the second inning. A double by Ortega, an infield single by Austin Apple. And they're both in scoring position. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nick Norris from the right side against the lefty, Jonah Josh. And the pitch. Swung on, hit slowly on the ground, foul up the third base side. He kept his hands back just long enough. If not, that could have been precarious there.
Yep.
Oh, we'll do another 3-2 pitch. Again, the infield in, the offering. Swung on, hit foul again up the third base side. Little chop there. Delivered by Nick Norris. Just any way to get on base at this point. Even just trying to draw the base on ball. So once again, it remains at 3-2 to the junior first baseman. The stretch and the offering. And that's way outside, and Norris walks. And the bases are loaded for the pitcher, Mateo Salcido, who can certainly help his own cause. Now the infield's a double play depth. Mateo's thinking big hit right here. He had 2 RBIs yesterday, had 2 base hits. Here's the stretch by Josh. And the offering. Swung on and lifted into shallow center field, but the second baseman is going to be out there making the catch. 2 steps out into the grass. And Jonah Sanders makes the play, and that was not a good at-bat there by the sophomore. Got fooled badly and popped it up, and there's 1 down. Yeah, again, Teo came out of it yesterday, had a very good game. Here's Sam Shaver, the junior DH. Boy, they got to score here with the bases loaded, nobody out now at 1 down. The pitch, and the bender's in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Alex Ortega at third, Austin Apple at second, Nick Norris at first. No score, bottom of the second inning. Weingart again lays down the sign. Shaver looking for a hitter's pitch. And the 1-0. And he swings and grounds it down the third base side. It's muffed there by the third baseman. No throw. Boy, that could have been a double play, but it was misplayed over there at third. Botched by Cole Hoffman, and it's 1-0 Fort Morgan as Ortega scores, and that's the first Fort Morgan run of the game.
The first Fort Morgan run of the game is brought to you by Cargill Meat Solutions. Cargill works with the community to make sure their jobs for the members of the communities they're in.
All right, so here we go with Javi Becerra stepping in. Swung on and line down the left field line, and that is fair inside the left field line. Apple scores. Here comes Norris, and now rounding third, and attempted to score as well, and in there on a 3-run double is Sam Shaver, and the Mustangs now lead 4-0. Clearing the bases beautifully was Javi Becerra. Well, that certainly opens things up big for Fort Morgan.
That was a really nice hit.
Yeah, he pulled it beautifully on the very first pitch. So the Mustangs now up by 4. Plenty of cushion there with J.P. Hamer stepping in. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on. That ball is hit deep into left field. Forget about that one. A homer for Hamer. It's a 2-run blast. A mammoth shot over the left field fence. And Fort Morgan is taking it to Frederick. In fact, they have equaled yesterday's run total. The Mustangs now lead Frederick 6-0 in the bottom of the second inning. Did you see that off the back?
Oh, yeah.
The left fielder.
He just, looked at it. He's like, oh, that's gone.
Yeah, he knew that was gone. A mammoth shot there by J.P. Hamer. And he's got home runs in back-to-back games. Here's Jacob Ortega. And now the pitch from the left-hander is taken for a ball. Well, this game turned around quickly. With a big 6-run second. Mustangs hopefully not done. They can make this a quick game, too. And the 1-0. And the breaking ball is a strike on the inside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here to Jacob Ortega, the pitch in the dirt. He lined out his first time. So Jacob officially at 0 for 1. Again, Weingart lays down the sign in the offering. Upstairs. Ball 3, strike 1. 32 pitches thrown by Jonah Josh. But the pitch count is not an issue. It's the runs he's allowed. Down by half a dozen. 3-1. The offering. And it's upstairs and outside. It's a walk. Second walk of the inning. And we'll have a visit to the hill from Coach Cronquist with Isaac Linker about to step in.
Buildings by design. When it comes to experience, Buildings by Design is the best in the business. Quality, commitment, and experience makes Buildings by Design the only choice when it comes to your next project.
And thanks as always to our sponsors. Sometimes we got to get them in quicker. It's a 4.5 inning game.
Oh, yeah.
Fort Morgan keeps hitting. And they take advantage of a big mistake. That was a big play over there, the error at third.
Oh, yeah.
It could have been an actual double play there, but it was botched by Hoffman. And now Fort Morgan capitalized with the 3-run homer hit by, or check that, the 3-run double hit by Sam Shaver, the solo shot by J.P. Hamer. Or check that, that was a 2-run homer. I got to get my number straight. So a 3-run double by Shaver, 2-run homer by Hamer. Now here's Linker. He popped the center his first time up. The stretch, short lead at first, and the pitch. Swung on, that's grounded up the middle. The shortstop plays it off his glove, and Ryan Baca cannot make the play. And Linker reaches, we'll call that a miscue. That would have been an easy force at second. And the Frederick defense falling apart right now. That is their second error of the inning. And here's Ortega, who doubled and scored early in the frame. So 6-0 Fort Morgan. Yeah, Coach Langford was not happy. They struck out 8 times yesterday, and they weren't consistent at the plate, but much better here. And the breaking ball's inside. 1-0 here to Alex Ortega. Yeah, we're in the making for a quick ball game.
Yep.
This afternoon.
The wind's just picking up, too. So
Yeah, I can feel it here. Absolutely. Runners go. Swung on and fouled back. Boy, I wish you would have taken that pitch. Because it was an easy swipe of second and third. An easy swipe.
Oh, yeah.
And when you're up in the count 1-0, you don't need to swing at that pitch. But Alex thought he had one to hit. Yeah, the only danger of a hit and run with less than 2 outs, you line out to somebody, it's a double play. In fact, Frederick hit into 3 double plays yesterday. I don't think any one of them was a hit and run, but still it opens up that possibility. And a pitch. Swung on, grounded left side. Baca deep in the hole at short, dives. He can't make the play. It's a base hit. Ortega rounds third, and Jacob will score. RBI single there, making it 7-0. Second hit of the game for Alex Ortega. And Fort Morgan is on quite the roll right now. And here's Austin Apple. And we'll have a pitching change. And I think it'll be the same pitcher that came in yesterday, the second pitcher that came in. That'll be Levi Gockley. All right, the pitching change here in the bottom of the second inning. It's a 1-minute break. The score, Fort Morgan 7, Frederick nothing. Back in 1 minute on B106 and B106.com. Levi Gockley was the second pitcher yesterday in a 6-2 Frederick loss to Fort Morgan. He's the second pitcher today. And he's inheriting a mess. First and second, one out. The Mustangs have 7 across. 3-run double by Sam Shaver, a 2-run homer by J.P. Hamer, an RBI single by Alex Ortega. This all really got started with the bases loaded, 1 out, and a grounder was hit to third, and it looked like
it was going to be an easy double play.
Yeah, by the way, the 3-run doubles by Becerra. I said Shaver. Shaver's the one who hit the grounder to third that was botched. It could have been a double play. Then Javi came through. So let me clarify that Javi Becerra with a 3-run double preceding homer. So Gockley with an ERA of 3.5, second appearance. So obviously the first one being yesterday. Austin Apple had an infield single. This is the 11th hitter of the inning for Fort Morgan. And the pitch. Apple takes it up and away. 1 ball and no strikes to the senior third baseman. And the pitch. A strike with the off-speed pitch at the knees. Apple has raised his average. He was hitting .231, but 1-for-1 has certainly got that average up. Runners take their leads, and the pitch. Swag, and a miss, and a pitch down and in. Pulled the string on that one. Ball 1, strike 2. Apple's also a very good bunter, but he's not going to be bunting here with 2 strikes. He'll be swinging away. Against the right-hander, Gockley looking back. The pitch. Swung on. That ball is laced foul up the left side. Got way out in front. Count remains at 1-2. Looks like some JV players are warming up.
Yeah.
Or somebody's taking swings. No, that might not be JV. I don't know. Some kids out there, too.
Yeah, it might be some little kid teams.
Yeah. And the pitch. Popped foul and out of play behind the screen. You still credit Shaver with an RBI earlier in this inning because it came with 1 down and the bases full. You can't assume there was an out, but it was still an error. And again, that was earlier in this inning. And the pitch. Swung on it slowly on the ground to third. Hoffman has it, steps on the bag just in time. Ahead of Isaac Linker, who is getting up the line. So 2 down for Nick Norris. That's the imaginary line, by the way. One that doesn't exist between second and third.
Yeah.
That'll bring up Nick Norris, who walked. And he scored on that 3-run double by Javi Becerra. First and second. And the pitch. That's right there for a strike down the middle at the knees to the 6'4" junior first baseman, Nick Norris.
He's sure tall.
Yeah. Well, he's got length, and that helps when he extends those arms.
Oh, yeah.
And the offering. And that is just outside on the breaking ball. The count evens at 1-1. And it's been quite the inning for Fort Morgan. 7 runs, 5 hits for the Mustangs. No runs, 1 hit for Frederick. They've committed 2 errors. Swung on and lifted towards right center field. But to his right is Nick Formby. He makes the catch. And that does it for the Mustangs in the second inning. Not before they put on a clinic. 7 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors, and 2 men left. 2 complete in Fort Morgan. It's the Mustangs 7, the Frederick Warriors nothing. A 1-minute break on B106 and B106.com. We head to the third inning, a strike on the first pitch to Ryan Baca, the number 9 hitter from Mateo Salcido. 7-0 Fort Morgan. In the dirt, the count levels at 1-1. That was pitch number 30 by the sophomore. He's allowed just 1 base hit. And the pitch swung on and grounded to short. Ortega on the third hop. Sets, fires to first and offline, but the tag is applied by Norris. Yeah, I'm sure Coach Langford's still not happy. There's been some errant throws on the left side of the infield. It happened yesterday, and it happened right there by Ortega. That's why you got to get rid of it quickly. Wasn't terrible, but again, if Norris has to come off that bag at 6'4" and apply the tag, that's not a good enough throw. Here's Trevor Haslett, who grounded to second his first time up the pitch. Outside with the off-speed. 1 ball and no strikes. The Mustangs tallied all their runs in the second. And the offering, up and away. 2-0 Haslett yesterday was 0 for 2. He did draw 2 walks. And the pitch upstairs, 3-0. Three balls and no strikes to Trevor Haslett. Salcedo delivers, and that's low. It's a 4-pitch walk. Yeah, they're having trouble pitching to him because, again, that's the 3rd walk they've issued to Haslett in 2 games. And he still has at bats remaining in this one. Here's Cole Hoffman, who singled his first time at the plate. And if you're joining us now, the Mustangs got a 3-run double from Javi Baqueta and a 2-run homer from J.P. Hamer, as well as a run-scoring single from Alex Ortega. And the curveball's in there for a strike. Bell tie in the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. John Beltran with Evan James. Evan already at this young age is a commanding voice. And the pitch upstairs. 1-1. With a runner at first and 1 down in the 3rd. Fort Morgan 7, Frederick nothing. Throw back to first, and Haslett was basically on the bag. At some point, we're going to have some winter weather in April, but it hasn't happened. We're at April 5th. The pitch swung on and line foul off to the right, out of play. Ball 1, strike 2. 7-0 Fort Morgan in the 3rd. Mustangs in their home whites today, and Frederick in their navy blues with the white pants. Well, Salcedo trying to induce a ground ball and end this inning on a double play. Nice lead at first for Haslett, and he's going. Pitch is swung on and missed. Fajardo's throw to second is late, but that's a stolen base there for Haslett. Certainly not on the Mustang catcher. And, apparently there was interference. The strikeout is recorded, but Fajardo was interfered with. So back to first is the base runner Haslett, so no steal, and there's 2 down. Yeah, when he struck out, he was kind of spinning in front of Fajardo, so no steal. So now it's 2 down and a man at first. Here's Brandon Hornby. Well, so he's still got the force at second. The 7-0 lead. And the pitch. Swing and a miss on the bender. Hornby struck out his first time up, one of 3 strikeouts. Recorded by Mateo. Salcedo actually with 4 strikeouts. He's walked a couple. Throw back to first, nothing doing. So he struck out at least 1 batter in every inning. No balls, 1 strike. With 2 down. And the pitch. Swing and a foul tip to the screen. Again, these guys cannot square him up. Hoffman squared him up for a soft liner to right in the first inning, but since then, nothing's been hit super hard. So now in a hole is Brandon Hornby at 0-2. Fajardo lays down the sign. Let's see if this is a waste pitch. The stretch and the offering. Swung on and lifted towards right center field. Hamer to his left. Boy, he's got speed. He closes that gap, and he makes the catch. And that does it here in the top of the 3rd inning for Frederick. They do not score for the 3rd consecutive inning. No hits, no errors, and a man left. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. Fort Morgan 7, Frederick nothing on B106 and B106.com. Let's head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Fort Morgan leads Frederick 7-0. And for the Mustangs, they will send up the bottom of the order, Salcedo, Shaver, and Baqueta against right-hander Levi Gockley. The wine and offering outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Laying down the sign is Weingart, and the pitch. Swung on, chopped to the third baseman, Hoffman. He's got it. He sets, he throws to first in time, and Salcido's retired for the first out of the bottom of the third.
Western Engineering Consultants, engineering and consulting services for all your projects. Strong commitment to their clients that needs set them apart. Get your project started the right way with Western Engineering Consultants.
All right, here we go with Sam Shaver. Shaver reached on the air by the third baseman, the pitch, and that's up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Fort Morgan will be off for a few days. They've got Holy Family next Thursday and Friday, and Fort Morgan Thursday and Broomfield on Friday. Swung on line, foul off to the right and out of play. Count levels at 1-1. The rally was started in the second inning with Alex Ortega's double down the left field line, and Fort Morgan took advantage of 2 errors in the dirt with the off-speed. Ball 2, strike 1. A little issue with our signal today. At least we're not showing it from here, but apparently it's not going through as smooth as it's supposed to be. So that's why we've got a different type of broadcast signal-wise here. The 2-1 pitch, swung on, grounded right up the middle, headed for center field, hits the bag, and it's a base hit. I don't think Baca would have thrown him out anyway. It's short because it was hit that slowly, but it hit the right side of the bag.
Just bounced right off.
And for the Mustangs, that is their 6th hit of the game. When it's chopped that slowly, it would have been a tough play.
Oh, yeah.
I think it would have made it, but throwing him out would have been a different story. Here is Javi with that big 3-run double that made it a 4-0 game. Go back to first, back in diving is Shaver. Javi's going to dig back in. The stretch and the offering, squaring to bunt, up and in, throw back to first, back in standing is Shaver. Well, if the Mustangs really open it up, they might be able to bring some players in off the bench and going with their starters throughout all these games, unless it's been one-sided, which only really happened against La Junta. 1-0 here to Javi. Short lead at first. Step off there by Levi Gockley. Yeah, you play in a different field. It almost seems like a different game. It certainly isn't yesterday. And that's in the dirt. Nice block by Weingart. Frederick 1-6 coming in, but they only lost to Windsor 7-0, and Windsor's got a heck of a team. Fort Morgan lost to Windsor 15-8 and 11-0. And both games were played in Windsor. One was a home game for Fort Morgan. They couldn't play it here because of field conditions. The offering. And that is down and in on the changeup. Close. But now it's 3-0 to Javi Becerra. And watch out because J.P. Hamer, who hit a blast that landed in brush, is on deck. The pitch. Strike. On the outer half at thigh level, it's 3-1. Three balls and 1 strike, short lead at first. And the offering runner going, swung on line, base hit into left field. Let's see if Shaver takes third. No, it's hit so hard, he's got to stay right there at second. Javi's now 2 for 2. And here we go. Hamer took a pitch and destroyed it his first time up. Actually, it was his second time up. It was a 2-run homer in a 7-run second. The stretch by Gockley. And the pitch swung on and grounded foul up the third base side. Count moves to 0-1. He can make this a double-digit lead for Fort Morgan. If he goes deep again, he's probably thinking to go deep because he's got 4 homers this year, but has not had a multi-homer game. The 0-1 pitch, and that is low and away. Again, slower and slower with the off-speed here for Gockley. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 on and 1 down in the bottom of the third inning. I'm John Beltran with Evan James. It's 7-0 Mustangs over the Frederick Warriors. Swung on and popped up into foul territory. Weingart gives chase, and he runs out of room. And I don't know why they're giving Dale an ovation. He botched that fly ball. That was completely botched. I mean, I wouldn't applaud that. And I love the guy, but that was botched. Yeah.
Can't catch
Did he not
everything.
botch it? He botched it. Man, they gave him an ovation like he caught it. There's the stretch and the pitch. Swung on and grounded on one hop to Hamer. The throw to third for the force. And Shaver's forced out. That'll go 6-5. And there's 2 down. That'll send up Jacob Ortega. Runner still at first and second, but again, now there's 2 down in the inning. Ortega lined out and walked and scored a run. Mustangs did not score in the first, but that hasn't mattered after what they did in the second. In the dirt, blocked by Weingart in the off-speed. 1 ball and no strikes. Baqueda's at second. J.P. Hamer at first. That's tons of speed on the bases. The pitch. Down and away. 2-0. Game's only about 49 minutes old, and if Fort Morgan can tack on a few more runs, it's not going to be a game that goes past 5:30. Swung on, grounded foul down the third base side with the runners going. Count now is at 2-1. To Jacob Ortega. Yeah, kind of a lazy Friday afternoon. When the games get one side, yeah, it is. There was more life yesterday in Frederick, but the game was close for a good portion of it. The pitch. Down and away, 3-1. Yeah, the Mustangs just took it to him in that second, and then
nothing.
Right, it takes a very leisurely pace after that. Ortega waits the pitch, and he swings and misses, going to third as Baqueta. The throw's on a hop, and it skips by the third baseman, Hoffman, and he's going to score. Hamer to third. That'll be a throwing error on the catcher, Weingart, and the Mustangs now lead 8-0. Third error of the game by Frederick. And let me tell you, if that was a good throw, Baqueta would have been out by a mile.
State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, Greg Mullen and his team are there to make the insurance world easy for you. Call them at 842-4555. Here we go with 2 down, and now it's 3-2 the pitch. Swung on and lifted to left center field. That one might go way back on the track, and it's going to be near the fence. Ortega's around first into second. It's an RBI double as Hazlitt and Hornby gave chase, and the ball nearly got away up the third base side. The Mustangs now lead 9-0. And a ball was laced there by Jacob Ortega, his first hit of the game. Second time he's on base. Here's Isaac Linker, who popped out and reached on an error. For 9-0 in favor of Fort Morgan now. 1 run away from making this a double-digit lead. The offering swung on and lifted in the infield. Who's going to call for it? The third baseman, Hoffman, near the diamond, makes the catch well behind the mound, I should say. And that does it for the Mustangs here in the third inning. But again, they do some damage in this frame as Fort Morgan scores a couple of runs. They benefit from 1 error. And we head to the fourth inning. The score, Fort Morgan 9, Frederick 0 on B106 and B106.com. Well, the Mustangs have some changes as we go to the fourth inning, leading by a score of 9-0. The new second baseman is Noah Getman. Jared Baker's at short. Mateo Salcido does remain on the mound for Fort Morgan. 7 runs in the second, 2 in the third. Here we go with Riley Dufour, Braden Weingart, and Tyler Segura. The wind and pitch. That is a strike on the inner half. It's 0-1. The wind has really died down out here in Fort Morgan.
Yeah, look at the flag. It's very limp in center field. 0 for 1 is Dufour, and that's low with a changeup. And the count levels at 1-1. 44 pitches from Salcedo. 27 of those are strikes. He has picked up 4 strikeouts in the game, and the pitch way outside. Yeah, didn't follow through all the way there. Just left the arm angle far off the plate. 2-1 pitch. Swung on line center field. Hamer coming on. Hamer makes the catch. He barely had to move. That liner was flagged down easily by J.P. Hamer. 1 down in the 4th. And that'll send up Braden Weingart, who's 0 for 1.
Mr. D's Ace Home Center, a proud supporter of all our area athletes. They'll serve you with all their home, farm, and ranch supplies with 3 locations to serve you. Sterling, Brush, and Fort Morgan.
The pitch. Swung on line, base hit into left field by Braden Weingart. He's now 1 for 2. And Frederick now has 2 hits in the game. The other came from Hoffman in the 1st. And here comes Levi Gockley. So he's now in that hole for Segura, who is the designated hitter. Courtesy runner at first for the catcher Weingart. That's Bryce Conover. Well, Fort Morgan turned 3 double plays yesterday, looking for their first of this game. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. 7 runs on, check that, I say 7. 9 runs on 8 hits for Fort Morgan. They had 2 runs and 3 hits in that 3rd inning. They were up 7-0 after 2. Go back to first, back in diving is Conover. No balls and 1 strike on Gockley, the number 6 hitter in this lineup. Again, throw to first. Yeah, I often wonder, back-to-back throws to first, you got a 9-run lead. The pitch, swung on and lifted into left center field. The outfielders converge. J.P. Hamer takes control in the left center field gap and makes the catch. And there's 2 down. Two down here for Nick Formby. Formby walked his first time up. And the offering. And the breaking ball is a strike. 0-1. Now I got to see. That does look like Hamer. I don't think they took the outfielders out. I think the outfield remains intact. I think just the middle infield. Swung on that has popped up. The pitcher, Salcedo, along the third baseline, calls for it, and he makes the two-handed grab, and that does it. Here for Frederick in the 4th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. 3.5 are in the books. The score, Fort Morgan 9, Frederick nothing, on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. Along with Evan James, I'm John Beltran. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning at Legion Field in Fort Morgan, where the Mustangs have dominated since the 2nd inning when they tallied 7 runs. They now lead 9-0. The big hits in this game were a 3-run double by Javi Baqueda and a 2-run homer from J.P. Hamer. But Ortega, who had a big double yesterday, has 2 hits in this game. He got that 7-run rally started with a 2-bagger, and he takes a fastball for a ball. Must have barely missed. Looked pretty good there from Gockley. Here's the wind and the 1-0. Swung on and foul. Boy, you got to wait on that pitch. Way out in front was Alex Ortega. The count levels at 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. On deck is Austin Apple, and that is a strike. Again, lots of off-speed here from Gockley, 1-2. Fort Morgan scored more runs in the 2nd inning today than they did in 7 innings yesterday. The pitch, and that curveball's upstairs, and the count goes to 2-2. Yeah, the 3 errors have really hurt Frederick, even though Fort Morgan has swung the bats well. The pitch, swung on, that ball is lifted down the left side, and it drifts into foul territory, and that's out of play. 36 pitches thrown by the second pitcher for Frederick, Levi Gockley, who again yesterday came into the game and did a pretty nice job in relief of Tyler Segura, who was the starting and losing pitcher. And the 2-2 pitch swung on. That ball is lifted into left field. That's got some carry to it, way back towards the fence, and making the grab is going to be Brandon Hornby for the first out of the fourth inning. One down for Austin Apple. Apple with an infield single and then hit into a fielder's choice. He is 1 for 2. The wind in the offering. Swing and a miss out in front. It is 0-1. With one out and the bases empty in the fourth. Fort Morgan 9, Frederick nothing. And the pitch to the screen with a bender. Count is at 1-1. I knew someone was going to hit me at some point. Jeez. I rarely have sneezed on air. That's why I took the headset off. And the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on a pitch down in the zone. It's 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Austin Apple. And Levi Gockley delivers. Swing and a miss. Oh. Well, that ball tailed away, and Apple was fooled. There's 2 down. Nick Norris has walked and popped out. He is 0 for 1. You want to give it a shot with this guy here?
Sure.
All right.
Why not?
Evan's going to take over for Nick Norris's at bat. With 2 down and the bases empty, 9-0 Fort Morgan in the fourth.
The pitch. Swing and lifted in the center field. And that's bouncer. Nick on first. Going to second. The throw back. Sliding in is Nick Norris. Safe.
Not bad, man. It's pretty good. I mean, keep in mind, Evan's a high school freshman. All right, it's not easy to do play-by-play. He did it on 1 pitch. And that's a double in the gap for Nick Norris. As described, a head-first slide. And now Nick is 1 for 2. Mateo Salcido will now hit. He was up there with the bases loaded earlier and popped out. He's also grounded out. On the inside corner. You can take the rest of the at-bat. Yeah, 1 pitch. You need more than that. 0-1. Take it away, Evan. Nick Norris leading off the second.
Yep. Pitcher didn't like the sign. Pitch. That's in the dirt for Mateo.
Evens the count at 1-1.
Mateo set and ready to go. The offering swung on and lifted into left field. Lost the ball, but it looks like it's a catch. And out goes Mateo Salcido. Brandon Hornby makes the catch. Yeah, again, that's why you got to watch for the fielders, especially if the ball hit that high. Yeah. But the Mustangs do pick up a hit. No runs, a man left at second base. 4 complete. It is Fort Morgan 9, Frederick nothing on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. Mateo Salcido is working on a 2-hit shutout. 9-0 Fort Morgan as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Jackson Langford is the new catcher for the Mustangs. And looks like we got a new first base.
Yep, Sam Christensen, a junior at first. So other than Apple, the infield is fairly new. Yeah, Baker's been at short and Getman at second. Those took place last inning. First pitch is a ball, the 1-0. Swung on and lifted right side. Second baseman Getman to his left, and along the line makes the running catch. Excellent play there by Noah Getman. And there's 1 down in the 5th inning. Jonas Sanders is now 0 for 2.
Northeastern, when it comes to your future, Northeastern is miles ahead, and they're a college that's close to home.
Here we go now with Ryan Baca, and the breaking ball's a beauty for a strike. Boy, did that have tail to it. No balls and one strike. 9-0 Mustangs. In the fifth inning, pitch up and away. Mateo working quickly. Wants to get out of here. 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch swung on and lifted. Foul. Sam Christensen, the first baseman, runs out of room. And the count is at 1-2 to the number 9 hitter who grounded out to the shortstop, Ortega, who's now in the dugout. Mateo looks in, and the pitch, and that is a little bit high with a breaking ball. 2-2. Mateo's thrown just 57 pitches, so he'll be well rested after this start. And the pitch in the dirt. 3-2. Didn't challenge them with a fastball there.
You know, Connor Fajardo has done a very nice job of stopping the pitches.
Yeah, and he was very good yesterday. Swung on, that is lifted into right center field. Second baseman Getman 2 steps into the grass. Now gives way to the shortstop, Baker, who makes the catch. Baker called him off, and it was almost caught the ball where Getman was originally standing, but I think he saw it before Getman did, so there's 2 down. Yeah, Baker saw it right off the bat and took charge out there for the second out of the inning. There's Trevor Hazlitt from the left side. He is 0 for 1, grounded out and walked. And the pitch on the outside corner for a strike. And again, it seems to be pulling the string a bit, but locating it well. And the offering way outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fort Morgan took control in the second inning. And the delivery. Swung on, grounded. First baseman Sam Christensen steps in the bag. And that'll do it here for Frederick in the top of the fifth inning. The Mustangs are cruising along. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. If Fort Morgan scores a run, this game is over as they lead Frederick after 4.5, 9-0 on B106 and B106.com. 9-0 in favor of Fort Morgan. Let's head to the bottom of the fifth inning. 1 run will end this game. A game that has lasted 1 hour and 10 minutes. The pitch swung on and fouled straight back by Sam Shaver. Reached on an air, driving in a run, and then singled. So he is 0 for 1. Make it 1 for 2 in the game. Lined by the right-hander, Gockley, the pitch. Swung on and fouled on the breaking ball down the right side. Well out of play. Count moves to 0-2. Javi Baqueta had the big hit for Fort Morgan, that 3-run double. In a 7-run second inning, he's on deck. Again, 1 run will end this thing. Shaver awaiting the pitch, the 0-2. Outside with a slow curve. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And look at that U.S. flag now. Yeah, Evan, look at that thing. Swung on, that is hit in the air. On the left side of the infield, the shortstop, Baca, backs up and makes the grab for the outs, and there's 1 down. Yeah, it's amazing. You got to watch that flag every few minutes to see if there's activity. I mean, that thing was super limp 2 innings ago.
Moving.
Exactly, and now that thing's got lots of life behind it. In fact, it's whipping. Yeah. Here's Javi. Javi's had a monster game, the 3-run double and a single, and he swings and fouls it straight back. No balls and 1 strike. Dylan Woods will get a chance to hit in this inning unless Javi goes deep, and I don't think he's got home run power, but he does have inside the park home run speed. Up and away with a breaking ball to count levels at 1-1. Right now the Brush Bead Diggers are playing Alamosa. In Brush, we'll have the Brush Bayfield game tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock on our sister station, 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com, the pitch. And that is down and away. Ball 2, strike 1. Here to Javi Baqueta. In the bottom of the fifth inning, Fort Morgan 9, Frederick nothing. The pitch swung on, chopped down the third base side. That is fair. Hoffman tried to backhand it. He'll throw to first late. That's a base hit. Tough play backhanding that one. Javi's now 3 for 3. And that will give a chance here to Dylan Woods. He would have had a chance anyway with only one down. Dylan hitting where J.P. Hamer would normally bat, but J.P. already had a big day. Hit by a pitch, a two-run homer, and a fielder's choice. 1 for 2 is the way he ends his day. The Mustangs with a victory would be 2-3 in Tri-Valley play and 5-5 overall, the offering. And that's in the dirt, blocked by Weingart. Javi taking off for second. The throw and a hop, he's in there. That'll be a wild pitch, and now a base hit will end the game. And let's see if Dylan can deliver. With Jared Baker on deck. 1 ball and no strikes. Pitch to Woods, and he takes it upstairs. It's 2-0. I know I told Coach Fergus, I think I told you this too. Nothing better than good baseball, nothing worse than bad. This is not necessarily bad. The pitch, low. Yeah, bad is when it's 20-13 or there's a bunch of walks and errors and it takes forever. This game's actually moving along, an hour and 14 minutes deep. Nice. 3 balls and no strikes to Dylan Woods. And a pitch. He swings and hits it softly towards left center field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Javi might be able to score, but the throw's going to come back in. And, yeah, Jared Baker will now hit. And you know what? I think Coach Langford was going to hold him up anyway because he wanted Baker to hit. Baker was on deck yesterday in the 7th inning and didn't get to hit at all in the game.
Okay.
So now at least he gets to swing the bat. I'm sure Jared is hoping that there's not a wild pitch or something that scores Javi unless Coach Langford decides to keep him at third and allow his hitter to do the work. First and third, 9-0. All Fort Morgan needs to run. The infield is playing in. Gockley looks in, and the offering, runner going, is taken for a ball. No throw. We'll call that defensive indifference. They were going to try to get him anyway. If Baker can send one into the outfield or in between the infielders, the game is over. 1-0 pitch, and he swings and grounds it for a base hit into left field. That'll be it. Javi scores, and the game is over, and the Mustangs win in 5 innings by a score of 10-0. All right, let's take a 2-minute break. We return in 2 minutes. Fort Morgan 10, Frederick 0 on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com.
The Fort Morgan Mustangs postgame show is brought to you by Morgan Community College. Morgan Community College is there to make your dreams come reality for both traditional and non-traditional students. Check them out at morgancc.edu.
A one-sided affair here in Fort Morgan. The Mustangs beat the Frederick Warriors 10-0 in 5 innings, 10 runs on 12 hits, no errors, 6 left on base for the Mustangs. For Frederick, no runs, 2 hits, 3 errors, 4 left on base. The winning pitcher was Mateo Salcido. The loss went to Jonah Josh. Time of the game, 1 hour and 16 minutes. And really, when you look at this game, there was one key at bat. Bases loaded, second inning. Sam Shaver's up there, a grounder to the third baseman, Cole Hoffman. If he makes that play, it could have been a double play, and the inning would have been over. Instead, he botches the play. A run scores. Javi Becerra hits a 3-run double, making it 4-0. J.P. Hamer, 2 batters later with a 2-run homer, makes it 6-0. And then Alex Ortega with an RBI single, making it 7-0. And then Fort Morgan extended the lead in the bottom of the third. Javi Becerra would score on an error by the catcher Weingart and Jacob Ortega. And that was after a base hit, by the way, from another hitter. Ortega with an RBI double, scoring J.P. Hamer. And then, as we just heard, Jared Baker with a base hit with 1 out in second and third to end it as Fort Morgan won in 5 innings. The Mustangs are now 2-3 in the Tri-Valley, 5-5 overall. And as for Frederick, 1-7 overall. And they are 0-5 in Tri-Valley League play. Mustangs back in action coming up on Thursday. And they'll be right here in Fort Morgan against Holy Family. That should be a really good ball game. Going to be a competitive one. And that'll start at 4 o'clock right here on B106 and B106.com as the Mustangs put this away once again with that 7-run second inning. Second inning, that is. All right, time for the Mustang Player of the Game.
The Fort Morgan Mustangs Player of the Game is brought to you by Transwest. Transwest believes that customers are number one. Check out their selection online or just stop by one of their dealerships in Fort Morgan or Sterling today.
Well, you know what? This is going to be co-players of the game. I know J.P. Hamer's got 4 home runs, and I want to give him a player of the game. We did it a few times during the football season. But considering a sophomore making his first start on the mound, Mateo Salcido tossed a 2-hitter. He's going to be one of the players of the game, and Javi Baqueta had 3 hits.
Oh, yeah.
And he had that big double down the left field line. That 1-0 to 4-0. The Mustangs were able to cruise thereafter. So Javi Baqueta and Mateo Salcido are the Mustang Players of the Game, brought to you by Transwest as Fort Morgan wins it going away. Outstanding job by our sound engineer and producer, Alicia Alton. For Evan James, I'm John Beltran. The final score in Fort Morgan, the Mustangs 10 and the Frederick Warriors nothing, right here on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com.